so,
We'll fix it in post.
we'll fix it in post. No, we won't. We're just gonna roll. We're just gonna go. All
Want me to
right.
open it? You got it?
No.
I mean my tool.
No, I think she has a tool.
She has a tool.
She has a tool.
I
Okay.
need that ready now.
All right, so we're about to unbox the iPhone 6 Plus in silver, 128 gigs. I've got my knife.
Wait, show me that knife.
I've got my knife.
Wait.
Should I hold it close to my face?
No, further from your face. Much further. Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna cut it all the way around. Usually for unboxings, I burn the plastic off, but I didn't want to bring fire to the Apple Store.
That is there to offer in the OnePlus One with the flagship standard, which is the Snapdragon 801 at 2.5 GHz backed by 3 GB of RAM. Now, while there's an obvious difference on paper, it isn't really evident in real-world performance, which is something we've expected in iPhone versus Android already. So regardless of what you do with these phones, you'll have a smooth, quick experience. The iPhone 6 Plus comes with 16, 64, or 128 GB of storage, while the OnePlus One comes in at 16 and 64 GB flavors, and neither offer the option of expandable storage. Apple did finally introduce NFC with their device, even if it is limited to just the use of Apple Pay, but also worth noting is the return of the fingerprint scanner, and that is a convenient layer of extra security which can now be used by some third-party applications in iOS 8. These are features that don't make it onto the more Spartan OnePlus One. As we move into the cameras, we find that the iPhone 6 Plus keeps the 8-megapixel rear shooter from its predecessor, though it does come with a new sensor, an f2.2 aperture lens, faster autofocus, and optical image stabilization, which is not found in its smaller brethren. Video also gets a boost as well, especially with the ability to capture slow-motion video at 240 frames per second in 720p resolution. Indeed, the modes that are available in the iPhone 6 camera application might seem quite limited, but we have found that iPhone quality in terms of this picture has been pretty good in previous iterations, and we don't expect it to change in this one. On the other hand, we have the 13-megapixel Sony Exmor RS sensor of the OnePlus One, combined with a 6-part lens construction with the f2.0 aperture, a dual LED flash, and a great software package that, in contrast to the iPhone 6 camera app, has a lot of different features which will allow for a great camera experience that is catered to the way that you want it to be. On the front, you get a 5-megapixel camera with a wide lens that enables an 80 degrees field of view, which is good for some selfie lovers out there. And finally, in software, we revisit iOS versus Android, but in the case of the OnePlus One, it is CyanogenMod 11S. It's basically a special release built specifically for the OnePlus One to take advantage of all of its hardware and features. You get a clean, minimalistic, stock-like experience, but get underneath the surface and you'll find a lot of customization options, not just with the device's theme engine and with its own store for the theme engine, but also for various types of gestures that are available and a lot of options to really cater the experience to what you want it to be, like Android should be. But for the iPhone 6, the iOS 8 UI remains largely the same as iOS 7, but there are some new features, such as the support for third-party keyboards, putting widgets in the notification dropdown, and the actually robust new health application. Probably the most exciting feature is continuity, which allows you to have sync across a bunch of different Apple products, but then from there you also get the reachability feature, which allows for one-handed use. But here is the crux of this comparison, where price isn't usually a factor when it comes to flagship comparisons because they usually all fall around the same price range. That is not the case here, with the OnePlus One available at almost 1/3 of the cost of the iPhone 6 Plus. This is certainly worth noting for what could be considered a similar experience, at least in terms of size, display quality, and for the most part the different tasks that you would be able to do in either one of these phones. If you do find that the OnePlus One already caters to what it is that you need to do in your daily life, then its cost is probably going to be the trump card that lets you choose it over the iPhone 6 Plus. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for even more coverage of the iPhone and iPhone 6 Plus as we take a look at the competition here, comparing them to Android flagships, because we are your source for all things Android.